The most engaging, impactful, informative, and entertaining talk show ever. Get ready to hear the voices of many local, state, and national artists, musicians, comedians, pastors, athletes, and politicians. It's time for South Florida Live with Jeffrey Brown. The most engaging, impactful, informative, and entertaining talk show ever. Get ready to hear the voices of many local, state, and national artists, musicians, comedians, pastors, athletes, and politicians. It's time for South Florida Live with Jeffrey Brown.
All right. Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the South Florida Live podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey Brown, and as we always say, this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in. Hey, come on in. Join us on tonight. You don't want to miss this episode on tonight. Those that are viewing by Facebook, come on, help me out. Let's like and share, please. Like and share. Let someone know that the South Florida Live podcast is on. And those that are viewing by YouTube, you know what to do. Hit that like and share button. Would you do that for me? Thank you. It's going to be interesting. We're going to have a nice conversation on tonight. Y'all, the countdown is on. Yes, the countdown is on for the election. And we got to remember, we got to prepare ourselves. I'ma keep on running because the winner don't quit on themselves. So you don't want to miss this episode. Come on in. Those that are viewing, let me hear from you. Good evening to you. Hey, good evening. Good evening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us on this evening. Hope everyone experienced peace and blessings on today. Everyone had a productive day on today. Thank you. Hey, good evening. Thank you to you. Good evening. Good evening. I'ma wade through the waters till the tide don't move. I'ma ride through your borders. Call me bulletproof. This is Tuesday talk. Tuesday evening talk. Okay? We're going to have a conversation. It's something, hey, listen, trust me, you're going to enjoy this tonight. We got to have the conversation, y'all. This thing is getting real serious. All right, I'm going to give you guys a few more seconds. Let's go, 30 seconds. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Need some people to tag some folks. Tag at least 10 people for me tonight. Let them know that the South Florida Live podcast is on. Do that for me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, my guest is here. She is ready. And I don't want to keep her waiting. Busy schedule. She's on it. I'm just so honored to have her with me tonight. You know, those ones that, you know, that are, man, listen, for them to take out their busy schedule, out of their busy schedule, that should be with me tonight. I want to give them all the time that they need on tonight. So come on, y'all. Join me on tonight. All right. It's that time. We're not going to keep her. We're not going to hold her. Hey, y'all, I am so excited tonight to have a friend of mine with us tonight. And listen, I know I told you guys about this wonderful event that's going on in October, on Thursday, October 10th. Hey, listen, I have one of the ladies and the individuals that's involved in this, and they're going to share with our audience on this evening what this rally is all about and how important this rally is for us on tonight. Hey, listen, y'all know it's very important. Listen, we're going to get into it. Hey, listen, I'm not going to hold her. I'm going to bring her on. It's my sister, the one and only, Miss Kim McCray. Hey, good evening.
Hello, good evening. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. How are you doing? I know this is your busy time, but I'm honored to have you here with us this evening. I hope you had a real productive day. How was your day?
My day was amazing. Because I woke up.
Let's
start there. Let's start there. It is so important, the mindset that we have as individuals. I'm not concerned about very much, but I can tell you that my day was an amazing day. And to be here with you tonight, I am honored. I want to at least start by saying thank you. But thank you for having me on your show. I remember years ago when you told me that you were going to do this.
Yes.
I mean, that speaks volumes. You are doing what you love through this broadcast. So, I wish you so much success. I guess the question is, how are you? That's a two-way thing. It's not only how I'm doing,
but listen,
Wendy Williams, how you doing?
I'm floating right now. I'm like on 10. I'm on 10 because I have Miss Kim McCray on my podcast. Yes. And I do. No, I want to tell you thank you because I shared it. I shared this podcast with only a few people. And you were one of the ones, and you didn't like get negative on me. You were so positive about it, like go get it, go for it. But you need to make sure you have this, and that in place. And I hope I was successful in doing some of the this, that you had, because I know this young lady she has the spirit of excellence. And anything that she does, anything she's a part of, anything she touched, it turns out to be productive. So I want to tell you, thank you for encouraging me to do what I'm doing tonight. Thank you.
Oh, you are welcome. Isn't it said that friends, we are supposed to help each other, right? That's really what life is all about. And I just love the energy that you have today, because the energy, I just pray that it goes across all of your supporters and everyone that follows you on an ongoing basis, because man, it's that mindset that we have. And if we have the mindset that things are positive,
right.
When I tell you that as individuals, if we just kind of took one moment just to say something kind about another person, whatever it takes to lift that person up, look at things more from a positive standpoint instead of a negative standpoint, things would be so different in the world today, 100% that it would be.
And I'm glad you went there, because of course everything that's going on in this nation now that we see now is, we got the negative vibes and the hate and the separation that's going on. And like you said, if we just take time just to speak positive to someone, because I told someone today, I told them that a lot of times we grumble about what we're going through, but it's not as bad as someone else. It's not as bad as someone else, what they're going through, what the troubles that they are going through. So even with the troubles that we go through, we still have to find a positive. I used to tell the kids all the time, you can always find a positive out of a negative. So every time you speak, you see something, may not be the best, but something in that moment is better than what it was before. So find the positive. So where we are now, even though we're struggling, or there's some issues, but it's better than what it was before. So that sometimes is the positive that we got to look at and see. And once again, even in this situation where we are now, because we have this wonderful rally that's coming up that we're going to talk about, get out the vote. This get out the vote rally, man. It is so important that people understand how important it is to vote this year, to get out and vote. So, hey, y'all, it's right there. Get out the vote. It's Thursday. It's Thursday, October the 10th at 6 p.m. through 8, right? At the Newburgh Baptist Church, 2300 Northwest 135th Street, Miami, Florida. Y'all listen, we're going to talk about this. And I told you I was backstage and you and I asked you, I'm like, okay. I'm thinking like the people they told me about this rally, and I may question them. Well, dude, why I need to go to this rally? So my question is to you, Miss McCray. What does this rally consist of? What is it based on? What is surrounding, and what's the importance of this rally?
Okay. Well, I liked your question, and the very first question is, you wanted to know, why should I go? Sometimes people who we consider to be those super voters or people that we talk to all the time, and they're going to show up at certain things no matter what, right? So let's think about those family members and those friends. And this is not the first time that, we've had conversations like this. It's not new, but what makes it different is when you're able to motivate that person, right? And move that person and share with them and impart information that they know will be valuable and helpful to them. I want to start with this. There is a quote from Congressman John Lewis, and he said that the vote is the most powerful non-violent change agent you have in a democratic society. You must use it because it is not guaranteed. You can lose it.
Wow. Yeah.
That speaks volumes.
That speaks a lot.
You can put that on the bottom shelf. Anybody can understand that. They can get that. And I'm also reminded of something some years ago that I heard Reverend Al Sharpton say. And it was just a casual conversation. And he was talking about if someone does something, if they break into your home or they break into your car, Jeff, what are they going to take? Aren't they going to take something that is of what?
Value.
Of value.
Mm-hmm.
So people only want things that's of value. So when you think about what's happening with voting, why are they trying to take it from us? Why are they trying to steal it?
Right.
Because it's what? Help me.
It's valuable.
It's valuable.
It's valuable.
No, it's valuable.
There's value in our vote. Because like you said, if it wasn't that important, they don't care nothing about, they're not concerned about us. So if it was not important, trust me, they would not be doing all the things that they're trying to do and put all the obstacles and blocks in the way to cause us to one, give up, two, get discouraged and get frustrated and just give up and let it go. You can't serve people with water in the line. They want you to give up. You got to go through now. You got to make sure your ID match everything and match the signal and the signature and all that. They want you to give up. But if, like you said, Kim, if it was not valuable, if our vote was not valuable, trust me, they wouldn't be going through all this that they're going. Now you got to count votes by hand, all the votes in Georgia and the different states by hand now. Why?
And you're so right. You can go state by state, and there are so many different election laws, and some people they have so many other things going on in their life with their children, with their spouses, that maybe they're not as in tune to a lot of the changes that's happening across this country. But it is imperative that we are able to help them and make sure that they know at least the basic fundamentals and the information that is important, especially regarding this election. People, election after election, you will hear people say, man, this is an important election, right? And someone said this to me just the other day, and I love this conversation that we're having. She said, Kim, man, people tell us that every year. And you know what? She had a point, because if you're the person that's not really into politics, and it's sad to say a lot of people are not. And so when they hear certain words, they automatically think, what is the difference? And this year, we can make it as plain as day for them. Project 2025. And so now this is taking politics to a totally different level. It's like politics on steroids. What is happening there? And that will be some of the things that you'll hear about at that rally, right? I'm not going to give it all away, but we talk about everything here. Then, hey, this is the rally. And they're like, oh man, I heard Jeff and Kim already say everything, so I don't need to go. Oh no, and that's up a little bit, but we have never been faced. All jokes aside, we have never been in this situation that we are in currently, because with those amendments that's on the ballot here, abortion bans, and so many other things that's kind of really just polarizing our communities. This is really a time. You posed a question earlier. You said, hey, why go? What is so different? But when you think about right now, if the individuals that currently are not voting, because that's really who we need to have the conversation with, and if we could put them back in time, and the time where Black males, they were able to vote, then it was rescinded, and then finally they added where the women could vote, and then we had the amendments that brought us to the point to vote. But before we got there, remember, it was poll tax, what we talked about earlier, and people, they were beaten, and unfortunately people lost their lives. They died for this fundamental right. Mm-hmm. So if these individuals had to fight for that, they would have a totally different mindset about the power and the importance of voting.
And that's the thing that I think a lot of people, and I talked about it, I think the other week with my panel on Wednesday, that a lot of times people forget about, they don't want to think about the past. They want to forget. Why is it that we're the only one want to forget our past? And we don't want to remember our past. We want to forget our past and not remember. Because if you really look at it, Kim, maybe I'm just seeing it this way. Before the voting right bill was signed back then to allow our forefathers to vote, it was a struggle. It was tough. It was hard. And now look where we are now. We're back to those difficult times. King said we have difficult times ahead, but we shall overcome. But now, guess what? That was then. But now those difficult times are back again. My question is, will we overcome it?
We have to. It's kind of how you started the show, right? And it's back to having that mindset. It's not about if, right? But when and how. We need to have a plan, just like leading up to election day. You hear people talk about, oh, it's an election day plan, and most people are like, oh yeah, I will vote. Well, having an election day plan is not a bad thing.
No.
Okay.
No.
And I'll share another story. I have stories for you all night. I have stories because when you're out in these streets, you're going to hear things, experience things. And I really think that that's what makes, shows like this so important. It's about having these conversations. And so an individual said to me, this was the primary election. And they said, hey, Kim, can you take me to my polling place to vote? Not a problem. I want to say the person asked me to pick them up. It was 4:30. What time do polls close? They close at what time?
7.
I'm asking you, what time do polls close, Jeff?
7.
You got it right. Yeah. I'm not giving away any prizes tonight, but you're right. You got it. It's 7. 7. And so, but they asked me to pick them up 4:30. I did that. They arrived at their precinct. And then next thing I know, the individual was walking back to the car. I said, hey, listen, during the primaries, that it's not a whole lot of lines, but I'm telling you, this is like 2 minutes. I said, what happened? And she said, oh, this is no longer my precinct. Mm-hmm. Now, what if it was like 6:50? You follow what I'm saying? It was 4:30. So, of course, I had time to take her to her precinct, which was maybe 2-3 minutes away.
That part.
But that part, some people were running late, running in. And so what if it was 6:50, 6:55? More than likely, she wouldn't have been able to vote. So people are not even looking at the information to see if they're at the right polling precinct. We hear these conversations, but now that I have experienced it with helping someone else, I was like, wow, good thing you had me pick you up at 4:30. Mm-hmm. I said, if you would have been in trouble, young lady.
And that's something that we've been pushing out there on Wednesday. The episode of let's talk about the things that matter at 8 o'clock. We've been pushing that and reminding people to please check your status and see your status of registration. If you're registered, if you move, check your status, because remember, if you move, you can't your precinct change. So it depends on where you move to. So you always got and a lot of times, I hate to say us, not me, but we have the late folks that want to do it at the last minute, because the deadline to register is what, the 7th, the 5th?
It is. October 7th. Yes. Yeah. You are correct.
So that's next week. That's next week. So you have somebody that the day before, oh, let me go check and see if I'm registered. No, you need to do that now. You should have been doing that way then, because they want this to happen. They want it to happen. Like, for example, the situation you had, Kim. And what if her precinct was farther than the 3 or 4 minutes?
Yeah, and you are correct about that. And what was so interesting is this person has been staying in that same place for like 15 years. So most people would think, oh, I haven't moved. Wow. She just didn't realize that when she received the information and it showed a different precinct number, nobody really pays that any attention to it. Yeah. And so now, and we're all guilty of that. I don't think there's anyone watching this podcast that's not guilty. You just assume if you've been voting for the same place for 15 years, you're not thinking. And sure enough, and what was interesting, she actually came out frustrated. And she's like, can you believe what happened? And so she was upset at the process. Right. But part of that is on the voter, that just we need to pay.
Right. You got to pay more attention. And you know what, Kim? It's great that you were with them and you took them, because if they were probably on their own, they probably wouldn't went back. They'd have went home.
Probably right. You are probably correct.
But, because that's the frustration. And just think about all the things that they put in place now to frustrate everyone. And I said it last week. I say, listen, you like you said, Kim, that the day of voting plan. No, I told them, I say, you need to start making your plans now, because some people don't like to vote early. They love to go in the lines. They love to be among the people. I'm not one of them. I'm going to either vote your, absentee ballot, or I'm voting early. I don't like to be, I love my people, but I don't like to be in the midst of them. So, but you got some people that just love it. And I was telling them, if that's the case, if that's what you're going to do, you need to start planning now for the long lines, the things that you need to have, because you know they can't hand out water and all that stuff to you. So schedule yourself, have already make the plans now, right? To have all your items and all that you need, your chair and all that good stuff that you need in case you face a line that is long as a long wait.
Well, let's do something here. What's important, and for me, I love to learn. Hey, anytime I'm listening to something or watching something, you want everyone that's tuned in tonight to walk away with some valuable information. And we're going to make sure that happens, right? So, talking about early vote. So, a couple of secrets here. When early vote starts, the lines aren't long.
Mm-hmm.
The lines are not long because most people don't even realize that early vote has started.
Exactly.
Okay. So if you have a plan, the plan is go ahead like that second or third day because nobody's paying attention just yet. By the time they get into that second week and then they're in the weekends, then that's kind of when you see that. In addition to that, they have it now where if you know that you're going to go and vote, all you have to do is just put in the early vote site and it is going to tell you the wait is 5 minutes. The wait is 1 hour. Most people don't do that. It's right there at your fingertips. So, or you can search and see, oh, okay, well, this one here is only 3 minutes. It's right there, Jeff. It is. See these things right here? It's right at the fingertips.
I've been there.
So now, so you go online. So before you go to vote, I'm thinking, I know that you do this, right? If you, even if you don't, just say that.
Oh no, I do. I search.
So you check the time because the time is there, but it tells you. You just go right on there. It tells you exactly how long the wait is. Simple.
Right. But see, that's the thing that I'm saying, Kim, that sometimes we as people, we don't like to search. We don't like to research. We don't like to find out. I do. If I can do it for a restaurant, I'm gonna do it for my voting. Because it's right there, like you said, it's right there at your tip of your fingers. You can go online, you can go on the app and find out, okay, early voting, which voting site is less time. 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, and go to it. And it's just there. But a lot of times we don't want to search. We don't
let's change the narrative. I'm going to give you some pushback. Okay. So my pushback would be if the person doesn't know to even look for that. And that's why podcasts like this is important, because now you are sharing. Maybe a person said, you know what? I did not realize that. I had a friend, she took her mother to vote and she waited an hour. And I said, you didn't have to wait an hour. You could have gone on. And then she's like, Kim, I didn't realize that. So how about let's just help each other. Let's help our brothers and sisters. That's a part of the whole rally. It's about education.
Right.
Let's educate.
Right.
Right.
Because that's stuff that's so important. That's so important for people. Because like you said, and I said it last week, once again, a lot of times people do not know. That's why on Wednesday nights, we really try to give them all, like you're saying, all the ideas, all the tips that they need to be successful in their voting. We try and tell them what to do. We mentioned about finding out what precincts are less time or smaller lines, and if you're going to do early voting. But let's talk to our people that not going to do absentee ballots, not going to do early voting. They're going to do that day of.
Now, this is just me. I can only speak for me. In the last couple of cycles, election cycles, on election day is extremely slow. Numbers haven't been like crazy because people utilize that early vote time. And so, which is, not a bad thing, but the thing is sometimes some individuals just don't want to wait until that very last day because you just never know. It may be an emergency that may come about, and it's like your one shot. But, if you're participating, I believe early vote starts like October 21st in Dade County, and it may be similar in Broward.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that gives you a lot of time, and it's long hours of voting, right? And so I love those individuals that's out there as poll workers and volunteers and others who are just engaged in that process of making sure that you know how to vote. And in some places, the energy is extremely high, and like you say, they live for that. So
Right.
they go to certain voting precincts because they know it's going to be a lot going on. Some people like that kind of environment and atmosphere. But when we are talking about voting, and you have a lot of first-time voters, you have individuals, because of some of the topics there now, you're hearing more people having an interest in this election cycle. And I do think that that is important. That is very important. People are not voting because we are, on phone calls and meetings and podcasts talking about how important it is. They're voting because they realize that it's things that's impacting them. And you mentioned earlier that registration ends October 7th. And this event is October 10th, because it's like, so you were registered, now what?
Now
right? You had like what little John turned down for what, but you're registered. Now what? So we have to now, once we get past that registration part, we're moving into what? Mobilization.
Let's get to it.
That's what it's about. We have to.
Yeah.
So I'm leaning on John Lewis on that one.
Yeah. We got to move. We got to get to it. We got to make it happen. Now, those are those in those areas. Now, my heart have always been for the seniors, our senior citizens, our senior saints. That has been my thing. I used to go around and gather all the seniors that I knew that really couldn't get out like they wanted to. I would gather their absentee ballots, and I was dropping them off to the drop off point, to the box. Now, would I be able to still do that now?
What is it that,
or do they have to drop it off themselves as an individual?
Well, it is definitely a process with that now, and we do have the elections department coming out. And as I shared with you, thank you for teasing some of these questions, because we want them to come out. so they can find out the answer.
Mm-hmm.
So the perfect segue into some of the things that we're going to talk about. So thank you for doing that.
So
So
that's why I did, because those are areas that will be discussed on
exactly.
that
There
night.
you go.
And no,
There
no,
you go.
no, I
You're teasing it. You're
I didn't
teasing it.
ask you to answer it. I just asked you, the directors, to let us know. Oh, now that will be discussed. You need to be there
Definitely.
for that. He just asked a great question. But Thursday, October 10th, it's going to be answered.
It's going to be answered, and it is
And
going
I'm
to be answered by the supervisor of
of
elections. So
election.
she will actually be there. So, that's, as we start to, kind of unpack what October 10th is going to look like. But yes, Ms. White will be there to answer that question, along with the vote by mail questions, the questions about if they have children that's away in college, and how do they vote, the do's and the don'ts, what are some of the things that's changed. And so we want to make sure that the evening is filled with education, motivation, and mobilization.
Right. And the one thing, the flyer that I showed,
Mm-hmm.
and I told somebody, what I love about this flyer, and you probably don't know what I love about this flyer. But what I
I gotta
love,
guess. Are you gonna let me guess?
you gonna guess what I love about this flyer? What
Wait,
is it?
it depends. Now, if if I do guess,
Yes.
is there like a
I'll
prize?
just tell,
Do you give away prizes on this show? I just
Tell
want to
you
know
that
what
I'll just tell you that you're correct or you're not.
that's it. You said this is Tuesday night. What? Maybe I should come on a Wednesday night. Maybe things happen on Wednesday. No,
No, but honestly,
Starbucks. What are we doing? But
I don't know if I mentioned it to
yeah.
you, but the thing I
Mhm.
love, I love you. You know why I like this
I
flyer.
know. Yeah,
You know why I like this flyer?
the young people.
Yes, the young people that is represented, that is showing. And I did a thing with some teachers that I pushed last school year to talk to the 18-year-old, to push that, to get them registered. Get them registered to vote. That's why I love that flyer, because I really pray that that flyer attracts some of our young people and our 18 and older, and bring them out that night, and for they can hear and be educated. Because I always tell people, when you're talking to an 18-year-old or a younger person, and they be like, why should I vote? Because you're supposed to. No, that's not a teaching moment. Now, when they ask that question, now it's a teaching moment. Now you should give all the dialogue of why it's so important for them to vote. And I believe if these 18-year-olds and older show up on October the 10th, that Thursday, October the 10th, they will have that answered. They have that question answered. Why
They
it's so
will.
important for the young generation to get involved and start voting.
The young generation and the old.
Yes.
We cannot leave any votes on the table. Um, Again, I share with you that I have stories. I have stories all day, all night. And I think about when we were doing a voter registration right at that Winn-Dixie that's on, is it 54th and 12th? I think I have that correct.
54, I think it's 12. I think
I
it's
think
12.
it's 12 also. And doing a voter registration drive. And when I tell you, there was a gentleman, maybe he had to be between maybe 30, 35.
Mhm.
And I started talking to him, and I was preparing to kind of register him. And his mother walks out, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, No, he said, I'm talking to the lady about registering to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, his mother started using profanity, called
Yep.
him all kinds of names, called him stupid, and told him he bet not. Look, this is how she said it. You bet not. Look, bet not. I'm like, okay, this is
Bet.
out of my league. When the lady said, look,
When they say bet not, now you
say
know
bet not. I said, okay, I'm
man,
good. And my heart was broken because think about it. It's hereditary. So his mother, and then if he has children, he's going to pass that down and tell his kids that they should not register to vote. And we were this close. And she walked out and she saw that and she discouraged her own son from registering to vote. I have never experienced anything like that in my life. And even since that time. But I
wow,
just thought it was so heartbreaking.
wow.
I
Yeah.
will never
That
forget
is that is. And you know, and that's a sad segment. That's a sad example because a lot of that is happening. And I guess me saying that's a teaching moment, sometimes they don't know what to teach because it had not been handed down, shared down there. Because you know, we don't have the dinner table conversations no more. You know, it's
that.
everybody go to their separate places at home now. As when you were growing up and I was growing up, we were at the dinner table and that conversation would have had. You know, we were having that conversation. But like you said, that's why we have platforms like here and radio talk shows that really should point that stuff out and drive it. And we are now the educators. And once again, um, Thursday, October the 10th. That's going to be a night of education.
It is. So if you would say to me, hey Kim, what can people expect? Right?
Kim, what can people expect?
There you go. Good for you. I am so proud of you. This is episode what now? What episode is this? Wait a minute. Is this my first and last invitation on your show?
Of course not. Not
Because
at
if
all.
it is, I
Not
just
at all.
say
You know,
everything now. If this is where we're going, because I'm
no,
teasing,
because
I'm
my
teasing you.
schedule is open for your schedule. That's
Yeah.
you know, you have the schedule, not me.
Okay. Okay, my
Uh-huh.
friend.
Yeah.
I just want to
So
make
no,
sure, I don't
you're
want to have
welcome.
any problems.
You're welcome anytime. Anytime.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. So what voters can look forward to is an engaging evening with like-minded individuals who value the importance of voting and they're eager to learn more. And I think that that is important. I referenced earlier about education. So,
Mhm.
from an education component, I won't be redundant and share what I said about the elections department being there, but they will be there and they will cover those things that I mentioned. And in addition to that, there's going to be an overview of the amendments. We
Mm,
know that there's a total of 6 amendments, right? Some
right.
of those amendments were placed on the ballot by who? It's two reasons when you talk about um, amendments. Either that amendment was placed on that ballot by the legislature or by who? Us,
Yeah.
the people.
Mhm.
So you'll find out how those amendments got on the ballot, a summary of it, and then you'll also have some resources, helpful resources available. Uh, a breakdown and a reminder of Project 2025. That's you cannot hear that over and over and over again. You talking about being repetitive with that. We know that it is a very lengthy document, and we're not doing that. But there are some things that
Some areas.
really resonate and will stand out. The thing is, when you do anything, nobody will leave the event on the 10th not knowing certain information. They are guaranteed to know about the amendments. They're guaranteed to know more about Project 2025. They are guaranteed to know what some of the new election laws are, those early vote dates, those vote by mail, the vote by mail process, questions that they might want to have some one-on-one conversations with individuals, in addition to election protection. So we have so many partners. And then there is the motivation part. You can't be somewhere and it's just talking heads, right? No, it's going to be some motivation going on. And then it's mobilization, saying, okay, in addition to voting, what else can I do? Right. And we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. That's important.
Because that is
this. Education, motivation, mobilization.
And that is so important. You just said something, Kim, about what can I do? And I honestly, be honest, Kim, I said often over and over and over and over again on Wednesday that everybody can do something. Everybody may not have a platform like this, but it's something that you can do. Like I said, my job was, it was some years back, and I'm like, how can I really get involved? I'm involved, but how can I really? And it came to me to do that for the seniors. So everybody can do something. But you have to get involved. You got to be willing. And this is a great event. I'm not saying it because Kim is my friend and whatever, but this is going to be a great event. If you are not sure, if you are not, you don't think you think but you're not sure, you need to attend this event. If you have an 18-year-old that's in your house and is not registered, and that's the other thing I want to ask Kim, that's not registered, they need to be at this event. If you have
you said that's not registered. Now they have until October 7th.
But I was getting ready to go somewhere after that though. So let me I'm going somewhere.
I'm going. Oh, go ahead. Are you going fast or slow? Just tell me
I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere. I'm trying not to use my preacher memories, but I'm going somewhere. But no, you got a nephew, you got a niece, cousin, they need to be to this event. That they're not engaged in voting, or they're really not, caught up. They need to come to this event. I said about the registration because I was going to ask you, will there be a registration table there on that evening?
It will not be, because registration ends on October 7th. And so we're moving from registration to mobilization. Remember, you're registered. Now what?
Now
we're at the now what stage. This is a now what. And remember, this is also in preparation for early vote. So absentee or vote by mail ballots, as they call them, they're starting to drop already. I believe that they started dropping Monday. Yesterday. I think it was maybe yesterday.
What's today? Today's Tuesday. It was.
So I think it was yesterday.
I believe it was yesterday. Yeah.
So with that, so this will put us right at the perfect time, because by the 21st, those people that will vote early, now they're prepared. They've had enough information. We know that it is a full ballot. In addition to those amendments, we know that there's a full ballot that we have to vote for, and that information will come out as well during the rally. And you mentioned about young people, and I will say this, in the state of Florida, that they can register as early as 16 years of age. So you can register them at 16, which is great, because by the time they turn 18, they are already registered. So that is something that families can do now.
Because I like I said, I was really pushing that, and to the point that I had a couple of schools that really did it. I had one in Broward, one in Dade, And this young lady, she was at Northeast High School. I was worked with her at McNichol, and she really pushed hard, really pushed the voting. I mean, the registration with those kids until they had numbers that was, where she got rewarded, award knowledge and all that kind of stuff. She ain't say nothing that I gave it idea, but no, I'm just
What?
playing.
She didn't say that at all?
No, she ain't give me no accolades. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm sure
I
she
don't
did.
I don't do it for that. I don't. I do it because that's just in my spirit and I want to do it. But she did a great job. There's another school in Dade County. They did a good job. But um but that's something that we got to push. Not only did she talk about um um just them getting ready, she actually just shared with them the importance of it, why they should.
Yeah.
Because like you said, a lot of times at home they really can't. They don't know what to say.
They don't
Mother
know what to
shares
say.
down to them. Yeah. So
I,
that's really my drive with the young adults, the teenagers, and the seniors.
that's your that's your squad. Remember years ago when we talked about having a squad and voting squad?
Yeah, that's mine.
So
That's my
that's your
that's my
squad.
that's my focus. Yeah, that's my focus, especially the seniors, man. I told somebody I got an SUV now, so I can get more in my SUV than I could in my car. So
Yeah, so you can,
I'll
and
be
I'm sure
going
you'll
around
have some
picking,
snacks.
yeah, picking them up. I'm picking them up, making my rounds with them.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm excited. I'm excited about this event.
I am
I am
too.
so excited about this event. I'm just
I am really, really excited.
what's what's about to happen. Uh,
Yes.
in the next, I don't know how many more days we have
We
now.
have 35 days. We
35
have
more days.
35, at least
35
35
more
more days.
days. Yeah.
That's what it feels like today. It feels
So
like about 35
yeah.
days
So I
before
am.
election day.
What is it? Yeah, about 35. Yeah, because what the day is the first.
Today is the first.
First. So yeah, somewhere around there. But I'm
Today is
excited.
the first.
I'm excited. I'm excited about this event. I'm excited about this rally, get out the vote rally, and from
And,
six to from six to what? 6 to 8?
from 6 to 8.
Six
And,
to
and,
eight.
and
A couple of hours.
yeah. One thing that I did not say that I do think that is important. You said, what is one thing that you should know? You should know that we're going to start relatively on time. The
Did y'all
goal,
hear that?
that's
Did y'all hear
important.
that?
You
On
know,
time.
you don't want
On
7 o'clock.
time.
It's 7 o'clock and everybody's still looking around like, what time
Yeah.
are we starting?
On time.
Right? Yeah,
On
yeah.
time. Yeah.
So
On
that's
time.
so that's important. We have definitely a historically Black college and university here in our backyard for the
Yes.
memorial. So definitely we've extended that invitation to the university for them to participate. But our partners, of course, just some of them. WMBM for sure. We have chapters of Delta Sigma Theta. We have Headliner Marketing Group, High Low News. We have UpPack that's a part of it, the
Wow.
Related
Wow.
Group, the Wilkie Ferguson Bar Association, SEIU, NAACP, a Circle of Brotherhood, and the list goes on. Just Vote, ACLU, on and on and on and on. So that is why it is a community engagement rally, because the community is a part of it. And it's going to be a very engaging and exciting day. Now, one thing that you forgot, Jeff, to mention is that, we're going to have some food trucks. We're going to have some
Whoa.
music, a little DJ.
Hey.
Yeah, it's going to be,
Hey.
going to be a great evening for
I'm gonna
sure.
be on time.
You're going to be on
That's some
time.
food. And you know what? I normally have I normally have a podcast. I have an episode a podcast on Thursday. But I'm gonna try and talk to my guests and see can I do I don't know. I may set up South Florida Live there and go live. Would I be able to do that?
We will we'll talk offline, sir. Don't try to put me on the spot in front of all of your people. Who does that? I don't know anybody.
I just thought I would ask the lady,
I
the lady that's in, the lady. I just thought I would mention it.
Listen, now I just shared with you.
or I'm
Definitely, this is New Birth is the host of this, along with our phenomenal community partners.
Okay. All right. So okay, no problem. I got that.
So we can
got that. We can do that.
For sure.
We can do that.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Hey, now just
okay. So
what
now,
did your head say, sir? What it was? Reflect, inspire, transform. Okay, nice. That's nice. Nice hat.
Yes. That's that. We have to do that. Think about it, inspire somebody, and then let's transform.
Yeah. So you have your 3. My 3 is educate, motivate, participate.
Participate. That's it.
That's it.
They run.
Educate, motivate, and participate.
They run hand in hand. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Well, this has been a great night.
Yes.
I told you that when we started. I said, listen.
Oh, you told me that. Okay. Right. Yeah. Cool. Okay. I'm gonna let you have that.
You're gonna let me have it.
Last 2 minutes. Well, I ain't gotta worry about you with your preacher minute. Last 2 minutes. Just share something else with our viewers, our audience that's gonna attend, but the ones that gonna attend, but just share something with them about just how important it is to get out. I know we said it, but just share something with them to close us out on tonight.
Definitely the flyer says it best. Our time is now. Our time is now. There is nothing that's promised to any of us, but having the right to vote, the fundamental right to vote. We don't want to give that up. We don't want to take it for granted. We should not think that our vote doesn't count, because it does. We should never think that our voice doesn't matter, because it does. One of the most powerful tools that we have is our vote. And our vote is tied into things that we do every single day of our lives. So if you are on the fence and you're not exactly sure if you should vote or not, the time is now. When October 10th comes, be the first one to arrive. Do something different. No excuses about why something can't happen. Be your own agent of change for your household. Do something where you will leave footprints, and that's positive footprints, because we all have them. And I would say to you that this is when we're all one. My vote is no different than yours. Your vote is just as powerful. I am so glad, Jeff, that you gave me the opportunity to come on and be a part of tonight's broadcast. And I am hoping that your followers, the loyal group that you have, that they'll show up and show out that night.
Yes.
Hey, it's about a time of engagement. So let's not talk about it. Let's be about it. And I look forward to seeing each and every one of you on October 10th. I will see you there.
Yes. Hey, listen, you heard it right here from Miss Kim McCray. It's once again, Get Out the Vote rally. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be educate, motivate, and participate. That's it. Listen, there's going to be a lot of teaching going on that night. You don't want to miss it. You want to be a part of that because yes, we are one. Hey, listen, Miss Kim McCray, thank you. You have made my week. You have made my week being on this podcast tonight. Oh, wow. So thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for all that you do. Just not locally, but nationally, all that you do, trying to keep us engaged, keep us lifted up. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. If nobody tell you, I'm telling you. Thank you. Appreciate you. It. Keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate you. Love you so much.
Love you and love this community.
Yes. We got to stick behind. We got to make our community grow. Got to make them better. Because we are one.
We are one.
We are one. Hey, y'all, listen, you've been locked into the South Florida Live podcast with my guest, my friend, my sister, Kim McCray. And once again, don't miss it. Thursday, October the 10th. That's next week, Thursday, October the 10th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at New Birth Baptist Church, 2300 Northwest 135th Street, Miami, Florida. We are going to be in the building. Hey, y'all. We're going to have music, food trucks, giveaways, and more. I'm going to be in there trying to get them giveaways, be a part of that. Hey, y'all, no, but serious, for real. Hey, let's be there. Let's join this. Let's be a part of this. Let's blow it. Let's just pack it out like never before. And let's show that we can come together and we can be one, because this is the time for us to do it. Once again, thank you, Kim. Appreciate you. God bless you. Like I say, keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, y'all, you've been locked into the South Florida podcast, and we are, like I say, yeah. She said it. In your heart. That's the way it is. Hey, listen, I'm your host, Jeffrey Brown, and this has been the South Florida Live podcast. And my special guest, Kim McCray. Hey, let's do it. Get Out the Vote rally next week, next Thursday, October the 10th, from 6 to 8. You don't want to miss it. You do not want to miss it. Please be there in the place. And once again, everyone that's been viewing, thank you for viewing us. Thank you for being with me on this evening. And as I always say, listen, I'm going to pray for you and you pray for me, because I'll pray for you. You pray for me. And listen, let's watch God change things. Okay. God bless you.
Email your idea for show topics to the South Florida Live Show at gmail.com. Thank you for tuning in to South Florida Live with your host, Jeffrey Brown.